Every now and then, a car shows up that doesn't play by the rules. You expect it to be basic, simple, just enough. But then, it surprises you. It moves better than it should, feels more refined than you thought. And inside, it's not just comfortable. It's smart, it's sharp, and it's got a whole lot of attitude for something this size. This isn't just settling for what you can afford. It's about getting more than what you paid for. It's a 5-seater compact crossover that packs more punch than you would expect. This is the JETOUR X50 Sport. Hi guys, my name is Don and I'm not a pro driver. Let me show you why this car isn't just here to play it safe. It's here to shake things up. So let's start with the key fob. Here's the front and here's the back. At the front, we have the lock button, remote start button, unlock button, and the trunk button. At the back, we have JETOUR and a button here that releases the mechanical key. So the car is locked at the moment. If I press and hold the unlock button, it unlocks the car, opens all the windows. If I press and hold the lock button, it locks the car, folds the side mirrors, and closes all the windows. For the trunk button, there's no power tailgate, so it just unlocks the trunk. For you to use the remote start function, you need to press the lock button first and press and hold the remote start button. There we go. And then if you want to turn off the car remotely, you press the unlock button first and then hold the remote start button. There we go. So the car has that auto sensing feature. As long as you have the key fob with you, you can press the button here and it unlocks the car. That goes as well with if you're leaving the car, you can press this and it locks the car. The JETOUR X50 comes in white, silver, black, and blue. It is 1,841 millimeters wide, 1,654 millimeters high with a ground clearance of 160 millimeters. It is 4,397 millimeters long with a wheelbase of 2,601 millimeters. So front and center, you have JETOUR spelled out for you, and it's sitting on top of this piano black finish. And then on the sides of that, we have your headlight assembly, which has these DRLs on the bottom of it. And then it says here, Pure Mentality LED. And then below that, we have your large grille, which has these chrome accents. And they're curved towards the outer part. They're not fully straight all the way. You have a camera at the center for your 360 view. So here we have your plate holder, which looks like it's held up by this matte aluminum finish. And it goes all the way here to the side where you will find your faux vents. And then below the plate holder, we have more venting here. And below that is black plastic cladding. And then moving up to the hood, it's designed in a way that it's still raised up in the middle, but it's curved right here. So you can see those curves. You might not see it at that angle. It looks good. Here we have wipers. You don't need to flip a switch in order for it to get to maintenance mode. They call this frameless wipers. For your notch at the top, a really cute notch that houses your rain sensors. So the front really looks good. What I noticed over time though, is that the more you look at it, it looks like a guy with a mustache, but a really good looking guy with a mustache. Moving over to the side, you have 18-inch rims. It's in a two-tone design with 5 studs. So it says here it's a 215, 55, or 18. The brand of the tires is ASO 28. So you got disc brakes at the front and disc brakes at the back. For the suspension, you got a McPherson for the front and a multi-link system for the rear. On the side, you got this black plastic cladding that connects the front bumper to this bottom part of the car. At the bottom part of the car, you have these matte aluminum finish. Black plastic again for the rear fender that connects it through the rear bumper. So for the side mirrors, you have body color and matte black finish at the bottom. Dividing those two colors are your repeaters. Below that, you have a camera for your 360 view. On the side mirror itself, you have blind spot indicators. Awesome. For the window sills, you have black plastic cladding at the top. At the bottom, you have this chrome accent that spans from the side mirror all the way here at the back, creating this floating roof design. Door handles, which is in body color, but you have rubbery black button. At the top, you have your roof rail here, which is really sturdy. And you have 4 fixed points 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the X50 side really looks sporty. You have these cuts here that fade from that point over to this part of the car. I like it. It looks aerodynamic, it looks sporty, especially for its size. And the same goes here at the bottom before the black plastic cladding. And then on the side of the car, you have your fuel cap, and there's a lever here that you pull for it to open. So it has a capacity of 57 liters, and it says here equal to or greater than 92 57 liters is actually quite impressive for a car this size. For the rear, for the badges, we have Jetour spelled out for you, and then here we have X50. And then below the Jetour badge, we have a rear camera for your 360 view. Then we have lights for the plate. Here's your handle with a button that if you press opens the tailgate. Plate holder, and then lights on the sides. We have your brake lights and your signal lights here. Moving over to the bumper, we have 2 parking sensors. And then here we have fog vents, black plastic cladding that mimics the design of the grille at the front. This is where you get access to your tow hook, your reflectors, and reverse matte aluminum finish with rear fog lamps. And at the very bottom, you have a big muffler with 2 tailpipes on each end. And then at the top, we have your wiper, your rear windshield with rear defoggers, and the spoiler with your 3rd brake light. And you can also see your washer right here. No shark fin antenna. If you enjoy these types of car reviews, show your support and hit that subscribe button. To open the hood, there's a lever here. You only have to pull once. Once you open the hood, you get to see your serviceable things like your washer fluid, coolant, battery, brake fluid, and your big engine cover. What you're looking at here is a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with 154 horsepower and 230 Newton meters of torque. It's powering up the 2 front wheels with a 6-speed wet-type dual-clutch transmission. Open the trunk, there's a button here, and you press once, but you have to press and hold and then lift it up. So it's not that hard. It helps you in some way. So that's good. You don't have a button here, you have a handle and your emergency latch. And then we have your tonneau cover. It raises up with these things. It's attached to it, so it raises up automatically. You also find your early warning device, which is in Velcro. So they just put it here and then they do that. You can remove this if you want to. There you go. And then what you're looking at here is 398 liters. So this is quite big. What you have here is one pocket, another pocket with a light. I wish they had another light here as well. You also have a board, and under that board, you have a donut tire. So the donut tire is Chow Gan. It says here temporary use only. T12580D16. And you also have your jack right there. So you can fit a lot of things in here as well. That's the trunk space. To increase the trunk space, you can push this like so. 60-40 split, which gives you 1,262 liters of space to work with. To move the seats back up, make sure to pull the seatbelt first and then lock it into place. So before I get into the second row, I just want to show you the door cards. They're in dark blue, black, and then white. It looks good. It really looks good. This is plastic, piano black finish with dots. Here is your handle, and plastic for the black trim right here. Leather for the white, plastic again for the black trim. And here's your window switch that is one touch going down, and it goes almost all the way down, and one touch going up with anti-pinch. Leather for the blue handle, piano black finish here, and here is your plastic for your bottle holder, a pocket, and speaker. This is plush. So before you enter, there is a door sill here. So blue leather on the sides right here with white stitching. At the middle, we have white perforated material, and that also goes for the backrest. Blue, white perforated material, and then at the top, we have white diamond stitching. This is soft. And here is how high the headrest goes, and this is how low it can go. For the middle, this is how high it can go, and then this is how low it can go. For the center armrest, you got a white one. Pull this, then you have black plastic for your cup holders. Then we have 3 seat belts and ISO fixed points. There we go. I can feel it. And then on the sides, you have a handle, and here we have a pocket at the back of the front row seats. At the center, we have 2 vents, 2 USB-A ports, and a pocket for your phone. We have a wide but short tunnel at the center. So we know that the seats are comfortable, and it's even more comfortable with the space that is provided to you. I'm 5'8", and this is still what I have for my legroom. I can't across my feet though. It's a bit hard, but it's comfortable nonetheless. And this is because this is my driving position. If I move over to this side on my vice position, now I can do that. So what I find lacking here on the second row, there are no lights. But other than that, it looks really good here on the second row. Before I show you the door cards, we have a bigger door sill right here. And then for the seat adjustment on the passenger side, you have 4-way manual adjustments. On the driver's side, you have 6-way power adjustments. So that's going forward, backward, height, and for your backrest. So for the door cards, we have leather. This is soft touch. Plastic here, here's your handle, plastic on the black trim, and adjustments for your windows. And here's your unlock and lock buttons. Then we have a bigger pocket here and a cup holder, and then a speaker. So the door card on the passenger side is exactly the same, except you don't have all the controls for the windows. One touch going down, and it goes all the way down, and one touch going up with anti-pinch. Very nice. Specific controls found on the driver's side. We have traction control, headlight level, here's for your side mirrors, and a button to fold and unfold the side mirrors, and a latch to open the hood. For the first row seat, we have the same materials that you find on the second row. We have perforated materials at the center, blue solid leather on the sides, and diamond stitching here. I like this. This is fixed. It's not adjustable, and it looks sporty. Really sporty. For your steering wheel, we have leather wrapped steering wheel with perforated on the side. We have Jetour, and here are your controls for your media. We have cruise control and controls for the instrument cluster. And this is for your tilt and your telescope adjustments. And then we have controls for the lights, and here is for your wipers. For the vents, we have one for the driver, 2 at the middle, and 1 for the passenger. Everything is plush here. For the dash, we have soft touch material here, and then here we have glossy piano black finish with its same dotted designs that you find on the door panels, off-white, or your leather here with stitching. And then we have 2 screens here, one for your instrument cluster and for your infotainment system. They're both 10.25 inches. It's embedded into one piece here, so it looks good. You have your start-stop button, hazard button, AC controls at the bottom, and they're touch capacitive. Once you press on this, it actually triggers the screen. And then at the top here, we have a small notch with your rear view mirror, which is not auto dimming. Then we have your visor with clip and a vanity mirror, but no light. And here, I can't extend it. That also goes for the passenger with mirror. At the top, we have your light. Here is for the other light. And then here is for the door. Here is for your actual roof. So if you close the roof, it only closes the roof. It doesn't close the shade because the shade is open and closed manually. But if you open the roof with the shade closed, it actually opens it for you automatically. There we go. And I'm feeling rich. So I can't close the shade when the roof is open. You know what? I like this roof. Even though it's not panoramic, it's enough. We have your glove box, and it opens soft, no light. So for the center console, this looks interesting. Blue leather handle right here for the passenger. Nice. I mean, this is wide, almost half of my seat. That's how wide this thing is. We have 3 USB ports here. One is just the USB port, one is for charging, and then one is Type-C, fast charging, and then a 12-volt socket. And then we have a wireless pad here for charging with vents. And then we have your shifter here with the lock. We have reverse, neutral, park, and drive. If I nudge it on the left, then it goes to manual mode. And then below that, we have your park button right here. On the right side of that, we have 3 buttons, but one is empty. Here is for your 360. If I press that, it launches your 360 camera. And here is your on-off for the infotainment system. So it turns out you have to press and hold for it to turn off or turn on. And then below that, we have your electric parking brake, your auto hold, and a couple more storage here. Here is like a key holder. Here is another shelf, cup holders. This is actually decent. And then we have a key here for you to put your key fob in for emergency starting. For the center armrest, you have the same materials that you find on the seats. It's plush, it's soft, look at that. And the way you open it is there's a lever here that you press, and this is what you'll find inside. It looks small, but it's deep. What I really like about the center console is this. It reminds me of the T2. If you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that like button. On the left side, you see your speed. On the right side, you see your RPMs. Below the speed, you have your fuel gauge, and then your light situation on the bottom left corner. That's where you get to see your light indicators. Here is your hazard at the top and also your temperature outside. At the middle, we have your gear. Then we have your driving modes, which you can change, by the way, on the infotainment system. So if I go to vehicle setting, and then here we have drive mode. Right now I'm on normal. If I press eco, you can see that. If I press sport, then it changes on the cluster itself. You have your electric parking brake right there, your auto hold status, then you see auto hold at the top and your odometer on the bottom as well. We also have your temperature gauge at the bottom of the RPMs. You can change the way this looks, by the way. So there is this theme on the vehicle setting, general, wallpaper. So if I switch wallpaper, it changes the wallpaper on the infotainment system as well as how the instrument cluster looks. It has pretty much the same information, it's just themed differently. The way you control this, by the way, is you have your menu button on the right side of the steering wheel. If I press that, then I get to see setting, multimedia, maintenance, and then back to setting. If I'm on setting, I hit OK. Then I get to select if it's driving time alarm, over speed alarm, backlight adjustment, alarm volume, clearing information. So you have those settings right there. Going to, let's say, maintenance, I select it and it tells me the distance to the next maintenance. Your PMS. Okay, and then I hit faults. Okay, no fault. So this is where you'll see your alerts if there are some, or errors. That's pretty much it for the instrument cluster. So for the infotainment screen, we have 5 buttons on the left side of the screen. This at the very top, press on this again, it gives you a different view of the apps. On this mode, we have 8 widgets. So you can scroll left and right. And then if you tap, we have 14 apps right there. And then we have shortcuts like your music, Bluetooth, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless. Let's go to home first. So here's radio. Okay, that's what radio looks like. And then Apple CarPlay. So that's what it looks like. And this is the widget screen. Then we go back. Here is music. Now we have Bluetooth music and USB music. And air conditioning. So this is your AC setting. So this is what your AC settings looks like. You have different modes for your vents. Then we don't have dual climate. Here's your temperature. We don't see the temperature value if it's like 18, 22 degrees or whatever. Here's your fan speed. Going back, we have panoramic view. This is your 360 view. And then we have transparent view as well. So you can turn that on. And right now it's not moving, but once you move, you'll see the road underneath the car. That's cool. Here's the 360 view. By the way, you can change the color. Cool. We have the blue car. I'll select the blue. Then we have videos if you have a USB settings. So the drive modes I've shown you earlier. Then we have EPS mode, comfortable or sport. We have blind spot detection, lane keep assist, lane change assist, door open warning. So if you don't know what these are, there's an eye icon here that tells you what it does. Here we have vehicle courtesy light on and then lane change flash 3, 5, 7. So you slightly push or pull the signal and it will blink 3, 5, or 7 times. So follow me home how long it takes before it turns off. So we have automatic side mirror folding, auto locking, and then all that. That is vehicle setting. Yeah, we have settings for the infotainment system. So now we have Bluetooth, then we have name, date and time, general, we have brightness, safety tips. So these are your sound fields and voice awakening. Yes, this does have voice control. So if I say, hello, Jetour,
Please continue.
open my window. Hello, Jetour,
I am listening.
help. So there are car controls right here. So these are the things that you can say with the voice command. System, we have system language, radio, system version, okay, and then USB upgrading and restore factory settings. And then we have, of course, your manual. So if you can't figure something out, before you start panicking, read your manuals first and verify if it's a bug or a feature. All right, so let's go for a drive. So we're now testing this on an uphill and I'm still on normal. It's a 2.2 on the RPMs, 2.5, 2.7, 3. It really likes to go fast. So it's nothing to this car. It's still a comfortable ride. So this thing has a need for speed. If you like driving fast, I think this is for you. So that's the cool thing about it. I'm on normal and I tested it on eco and you can feel the difference. That's impressive because not all cars have big differences in terms of driving modes. So we've been doing a bit of twisties here and there, and this is on an uphill, 40 kilometers per hour. My wife said no body roll, very planted. Driving the JETOUR X50 Sport is surprising. in a lot of ways. For one, I didn't think that the ride would be so quality. The seat, the steering, and the way everything works, it's better than what I expect it to be honest. You have visibility on everything, like the windows, windshield. So the vibrations, you'll hear more of it than you will feel it. The seats are very comfortable. The suspension handles the bumps really well, even on high speeds. It's actually good. Coming from the engine bay, it's not harsh. Wind noise, it's non-existent. I tried it at 100 kilometers per hour. I still can't hear anything. The AC is good and everything. It keeps us cool. We actually toned down the fan a bit. That's how good the AC is. But I feel like it's so much cooler if I open my sunroof, but it's hot. What would be cooler literally if I had Ceramax. With 99% UV and heat rejection, I think I can drive longer with the sunroof open. So the details for Ceramax below. But since there's no Ceramax, let's close this. So look, cruise control at 60 kilometers per hour, Petix. So the cruise control is smoother in accelerating than if I were to do it manually. Speaking of accelerating, it likes to go fast. Okay. The pedal is sensitive, and I mean that in a good way. There's a learning curve to it. You have to tap and feel the accelerator because you will just launch. It really does want to go fast, but it makes it a really fun and sporty ride. And I can only imagine, younger people will be excited to drive this car. It does have blind spot detection, so that helps you with changing lanes. And of course, AVM assistance or the 360 view. I like the 360 on this car because when I signal, it triggers the AVM automatically and helps me with the turns. I like the fact that you can see what's underneath the car. Small things that I really love in driving a car. It's something I never expected to have in a car with this price. Impressive. Everything is smooth when it comes to the infotainment system. It's fast, it's wireless, Android, and Apple CarPlay. The JETOUR X50 Sport is one of those cars that genuinely surprised me, especially when you consider the price. The base X50 already offers great value at 988,000 pesos. But for just 100,000 pesos more, the X50 Sport gives you so much more in features, presence, and performance. At 1,088,000 pesos, it feels like you're getting far more than what you're paying for. The overall design is appealing, though personally, I think the grille could use a bit of refinement. But once you step inside and experience what the interior has to offer, it becomes clear. This car delivers excellent value. It's a strong competitor in its segment. Perfect for anyone looking for a compact crossover. Whether it's your first car, something for your small family, or just a practical upgrade with a bit of edge. It's friendly, capable, and packed with value. Enough to make every drive more exciting and a whole lot more comfortable. I'd also like to thank Jetour Auto Philippines for the time and fun drives we've had with the X50 Sport. Again, thank you so much. Hanggang sa ulitin, keep a kids.